In this thing, audio feed इससे आ रहा है। HDMI है ना सर, इनबिल्ट आ रहा है। it wasn't going live from why did it not? Okay, I'll just take it live. And just let me know how to see कि अगर हल्का सा भी lag आ रहा हो तो let me know.
अभी आपका फुल स्क्रीन जा रहा है?
हाँ अब जा रहा है फेसबुक पे एंड वो देखिएगा तो मीडिया सोर्स ब्लैक उसमें देखिएगा तो जैसे क्लिक किया पूरा कुछ नहीं from the camera.
Check. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you for your patience. We shall be beginning in about 10 minutes.
Check. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to everyone present here. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for your patience. Sir, my sincere apologies is all I can say. कई बार टीम बस जब आप क्रिकेट मैच खेलने के लिए निकलते हैं तो कई बार टीम बस पंचर हो जाती है. हमारे साथ भी यही समझ लीजिए. But But Aj, how I wish, sir, how I wish. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you. Please have some water that will get you comfortable. I'm sure the room temperature is comfortable. My name is Raman Bhanot. और ये आज मेरे लिए बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात है यहाँ पर होना बिकॉज हम बात कर रहे हैं एक लेजेंड की और उनकी एक नई इनिंग्स की और मैं ज़्यादा समय नहीं लूँगा घबराइए मत द इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट इज आई टॉक क्रिकेट लिंगो टुडे बिकॉज आईपीएल चल रहा है बहुत सारी क्रिकेट की बातें हैं आज के लिए माहौल इतना अलग और इंटरेस्टिंग इसलिए बिकॉज पहली बार मैं क्रिकेट की बात कर रहा हूँ एंड वी नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट एन आउटडोर गेम बट अ डे गेम वेयर द फ्लड लाइट्स आर ऑन The weather is also very good and comfortable. मौसम अच्छा है, air conditioning on है. और अब, without taking too much time, let me invite on stage the man who's going to tell you a little more about this very interesting product that we're going to see, the SRT phone from Smartron. Of course, the unveiling, and that's the reason why all of us are here. To tell us a little more about this, may I request Mr. Mahesh Lengareddy to kindly come up on stage. He is the founder and chairman of Smartron, sir. Can I have you come up on stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for him.
Sorry, everyone. We really sincerely apologize for the delay. Good morning. Thank you for coming here. Thank you all for being part of our journey that has begun with the vision to really build India's first technology OEM brand, IoT brand, to lead a technology-driven, innovation-driven company that can rival other brands that we are now, seeing from China and other countries. So we wanted to sort of take a stance and use the talent that we have, the humongous market that we have, build products for ourselves, rather than building products for other companies and other brands. Really to move the ecosystem from services and conglomerate culture to more towards innovation, IP, technology-driven culture. So more than 2 years ago, we have founded Smartron with a very ambitious vision to build India's global brand that is really focused on the products. Over the last 2 years, we've grown to be sort of the biggest little startup with already launching a couple of devices last year, investing in several companies and acquiring a couple of companies as we try to build a pretty broad product ecosystem in and around what we call the Tronics IoT ecosystem that includes lots of our smart devices, intelligent experiences through the cloud and other means, and a lot of IoT verticals we are planning to serve across multiple verticals from consumer to smart home, smart health, and infrastructure. And today is a special day for us, as we continue the Tron legacy. We are launching our first device of the year. It is especially more exciting for us, gratifying to us, as this device, this smartphone we have designed, inspiration and initiation from the master himself, Sachin Tendulkar. When we brought Sachin on board as an investor, shareholder, and brand ambassador a couple of years ago, we always felt we are two of a kind, Smartron and Sachin. We want to see India on the world map. We put our products not just in Indians, but in others' hands as well. So that was the passion that we all had, we both had. So he asked us to really come up with a device that could be an inspiration of his first innings, a celebration of his second innings and his upcoming biopic. Really be able to present it as a gift to the masses, to his fans. So that was sort of the context behind, the SRT phone, the special edition device that we have developed completely, not just manufactured here, but it is completely designed and engineered right here in India. We expect this to target both Indian as well as variety of global markets. And obviously the important thing is, one of the things he wanted to make sure is we don't compromise on the core performance or the Smartron premiumness and the quality that now people come to expect from us. So we have really designed a beautiful device that is 30 to 50% better in performance, in power, in memory, in storage, and price. Because we've designed it here, engineered it here, so we're able to do some amazing job, some tremendous job. I think I always believed we have the talent. Our engineers are helping global brands to build some very innovative products. Why can't we do that for ourselves? I think that was the thesis behind Smartron and founding Smartron. And we have shown that we're capable of delivering exciting devices through T-Phone and T-Book and Tronics, the backend platform. So with that, without any further delay, I'd like to invite Master himself, Sachin Tendulkar, on stage to take us through the SRT phone experience, what inspired him to tell us to do this and all that. Maybe please.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the little master himself. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the man who's embodied mastery at the core. Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. You can do better than that. Put your hands together. Thank you so much for being here today, Sachin. I'm sure before anything else, everyone here in this room wants to hear from you.
Namaskar, everyone. This is a wonderful moment. To come to Delhi is always special, and I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank Mahesh and Team Smartron. I think to introduce this SRT phone on my 44th birthday, normally people don't like to disclose their age, but I have no choice here, is really special. And there are many things happening around my birthday. That starts from my movie, which is going to launch soon. But the biggest surprise was on my birthday when I was there being interviewed by Matthew Hayden. And then suddenly the birthday cake is there and the whole stadium starts singing happy birthday. You're not used to all these things, especially when you're 44. It can become a little bit embarrassing. I didn't know where to look. But such is the love and affection, and however much you get, it's not enough. So continue loving me, continue blessing me. It means a lot to me. I think with the help of this phone, when they shared this idea that on my birthday they want to introduce a new phone which has better technology and better experience as far as the users are concerned. That is something which I back. And I am emotionally attached to this brand more so because it's the first Indian engineered and designed brand. And that means a lot because I believe, India has to take something to the rest of the world and not the rest of the world bringing things to India. And this is our beginning. I know there are going to be plenty of hurdles and challenges, and all of us at Team Smartron are committed to take up all those challenges and make sure that it's a wonderful experience to use this phone and beyond. Uh, I just want to tell Mahesh that, continue to follow your dreams because dreams do come true, and I'm really happy to be part of that dream. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sachin. We'd like you to take a seat, please. Before anything else, Mahesh, can you do settle in? It's interesting when he said 44 because, he's still, his love for the game is still like that. The childlike exuberance that you exhibit towards the game that you've played with such distinction, Sachin, is still the same. It's like a 4-year-old, and that's the reason why I say, when you say 44, it's like a mirror image of 4. And what this phone is all about is also a mirror image of all that SRT stands for. And that's the reason why it's called the SRT phone. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point of time, I'd like to invite on stage Mr. Amit Boni, who is the Vice President Sales and Marketing of Smartron. Amit, can we have you come up on stage? कहते हैं कि अगर मैच खेलने जा रहे हो तो सबसे पहले वेन्यू तक पहुंचना जरूरी है, स्ट्रैटेजी बनानी जरूरी है. So he's the man with the strategy, the marketing strategy, and of course the sales push as well. Amit, please have a seat. The fact that he makes sure that the phone gets to you. थोड़ा सा चिट चैट का समय है. महेश, may I request you to hand that phone to Sachin as well, because थोड़ी सी जुगलबंदी करनी बनती है इस टाइम पे. 44 mirror image, 4-4. So I have to ask something from Sachin about the cricketing perspective. We all know the numbers, Sachin. There was a Navy that played, and we're in awe of the numbers. When you look at them in entirety, when you look at them in individual achievements, they're amazing. But behind that came a lot of hard work, the technicals, the fundamentals, something that were groomed at an early age. Just talk us through that.
With the introduction of newer formats in cricket, I think something which I've always believed and my coach taught me was to have a solid foundation. And those years in my life were really, really important. Practicing at Shivaji Park as an 11-year-old, 12-year-old, I was focused on getting things right. I knew that if I could get the foundation right and solid, then on that you can construct a lot of things. So I always believed in that. In Test cricket, your technique is tested. And that's why I'd like to believe that it's called Test cricket. It always continues to test you. You can't take things for granted. Whereas I still feel that, in a T20 format, you need not actually have correct technique. If you have the ability to hit the ball, if you are creative, if you're innovative, you can still manage to score runs without being technically solid. Whereas I think in Test cricket, the bowlers are constantly trying to get you out. Yes, they like to bowl dot balls, but eventually you have to get 10 wickets. That is not the case in T20 or even in one-day cricket. So I always felt that Test format was more challenging, and for that, to have a solid foundation was the most important factor.
Now that's an interesting part because, Amit, the fact is that we say the SRT phone is mirrored on all that Sachin's achieved. He says Test cricket is the real test, the long run. SRT phone here for the long run through Smartron, and what have you done to embody those fundamentals?
Well, if we have to emulate anything that comes remotely close to Sachin, it has to be an exceptional thing. As you can see, we call it a perfect match, just like Sachin has had many of those.
No, there's a different perfect match for him. I'm sorry. That is gone, but this is different.
So our view has been, if we could come out with something that really is cutting edge, that will last everyone a lifetime, and give them ability and use cases that don't necessarily exist today. So we have tried to, as I said, emulate Sachin's achievements in our own form, in the technology world as much as we could. And that's what this device is going to be all about.
Oh, fantastic. So that's one interesting part. I had to interject for that perfect match with Sachin. I'm sure you'll stand by me on that. But, there's one thing that's fabled. The fact that you've got, people talk about the memory of an elephant, But as a cricketer, you've got unlimited memory. You remember each and every one of your dismissals.
I don't forget those bowlers.
And who's got you out how and how many times, and so on and so forth. How did that pan out? I mean, was it something that you developed consciously, or did it just happen?
You only get better from your past experiences. And if you forget your experiences from past, how does one get better? It is simple. For me to continue getting better in cricket, I had to remember each and everything. And to me, I feel, I'm carrying a phone here. Phone ke paas choti chip hoti hai, computer, but this is the greatest computer of them all. And phone manages your life, but on the field, I had to manage my life with the help of a cricket bat. Sorry, pardon me, I've got a sore throat. But I think, I remember many of my friends have told me कि ना इस bowler ने इतनी बार out किया है. I said इतनी बार नहीं, उससे थोड़ा कम किया है. So I actually made them count those dismissals कि कहाँ out हुआ, कैसे out हुआ, किसने catch पकड़ा और कौन सा ground था. So they surrendered eventually. But something which means a lot to me, something which has stayed in my heart throughout my life, and something that I care about, I'm expected to know everything. I don't think I'm doing anything special. If I don't, then I need to work harder.
Well, that's very modest words coming through from the man who's pretty much achieved something that we can only dream of. But this bit about memory and how Sachin's just talked about the fact that it's an extension of yourself now on your palm with a mobile phone and all the expectations that you have from it. He said, I've got this memory chip which is unbelievable. What does the phone have?
By the way, I said, इससे ज़्यादा ये computer काम करता है मगर this has got 64 GB. On the cloud, it's unlimited.
Wow. So Amit, what do you add to that?
No, fair point. I mean, and Sachin rightly pointed out, when heart of a device, I mean, as he said, it's a chip. Heart of the device for us is the chipset. I mean, we have just some benchmark scores out here, and I wanted to kind of answer it in that way. We have put in the best of the class chipset in our device. And because we do believe that is the heart, and that pumps the lifeblood into the device. So if you see these metrics out here, if you compare srtphone to anything else in its price category, or even performance categories, it goes much, much, much beyond to that. And it starts for us from having a Qualcomm 652 processor, 1.8 gigahertz octa-core, Adreno 510 GPU, but all of that coupled with a 4 gig of RAM. Now, when you have something like that together, you can easily expect a 30 to 50% higher performance. And so, yeah, to Sachin's point, the chip is the heart of it. And why we do believe that this comes closer to being the top of the line is, as I said, in its category, we're probably the only ones who are doing this, while still there are a lot of people stuck on the old 625s of the series and trying to do things. We wanted to have something which could at least mirror Sachin's thought processes and how he was thinking and what things that he was trying to accomplish in a way, and have that ethic of performance in there for the device.
So that's the chipset, and there's the memory as well. You've got it on the T Cloud, is that?
Absolutely. Along with this, what we're also doing is we are giving a 64 gigs of internal memory and unlimited T-Cloud access on the device. Now, that makes us probably the only brand globally to give unlimited cloud access. Now, what we are also doing by doing that is we have an analytics engine that sits on our cloud that gives your experience is very, very seamless, right? It's not as if you have to break your experience, it's kind of ragged. Now, pictures, memories, data, movies, anything that you have, go put it out there, and you will never, ever, ever have to delete anything that you have had a memory on. Just like Sachin mentioned, he's never had to rethink any of these things again.
I'm sure of that, and there's a lot of cherished memories up here in this memory chip, which you would never want to delete. Sachin, for everyone who's followed your cricketing career, they've seen you play in varied circumstances. you've traveled the world, played, in different countries, in different playing conditions. So, at times the pitch is different, the outfield plays differently, the overall light conditions are very different, especially I'm talking test cricket as well. The entire condition changes through the day. So there's something interesting that happened in Zimbabwe that I would like to know from you regarding the light conditions and, what kind of conditions you played in.
See, normally you get slow outfield, slow pitches, wet outfield sometimes. There is a lot of dew. And the style of play changes suddenly, and people wonder why. When you can't grip the ball, and all those things are now discussed on air. But something which I experienced in Zimbabwe was completely different. We were playing in Zimbabwe test match, and I think the the pitch positioning rather, was slightly different, where one side screen was really, really bright, whereas the other side had shadow on it, so the light was different there. But what I constantly had to make adjustments on was, whenever I was facing the brighter side, in between the overs when I was discussing how we should build this partnership and all that with non-striker, I was constantly looking at the screen and getting adjusted to the brightness of the screen, because that was something I have never experienced after that also. Maybe occasionally in Sharjah when a day-night game would start, and sometimes in the afternoon, the beginning of the game, you would get that light. But also, I think to understand that your eyes take a little bit of time to get adjusted to that light and to pick the release point. Because if 90% of the batting is at the release point, and if you miss that release point, then you are playing a catching up game. And for us, it was more to do with being ahead of the opposition and understanding that release point and then planning your shot. But that was something which I did not experience in other parts of Zimbabwe. It was only that one particular ground which I experienced. You obviously end up playing in certain parts of the world where the natural light is not that good. The background is all dark. It's not a welcoming light is what I would say. But there are certain grounds where, the soil is slightly on the reddish side, as we call it, where the game is always true and also the light helps. So overall, I think to have a good light. Now, if I have to compare, then I think that has to be the screen of this phone, because with the side screen, I can only compare one screen.
Yeah, the displays for this particular phone. For all of you who are just wondering which match we're talking about, you could have missed it in the commercial breaks that happened between overs. But Sachin, you actually were walking back very peculiarly.
I was walking backwards. A number of occasions, I would not lose that contact because, eyes do take time to adjust to light. And we get literally max 60 seconds in between overs.
I hope the bowler didn't misconstrue it as if you were glaring him down. You imagine the bowler's going to bowl and he's walking back like this, telling you, hang on, I'll take you on. I hope they didn't misconstrue. But Amit, talking about the display here, very interesting scenario. We talked about varying conditions. How does the display of this phone measure up?
So from a pure specification perspective, we have a 5.5-inch full HD IPS display. But if I had to draw a comparative, I think it's a brilliant any condition display. So even if you're out in sun, your ability to see what's on the screen doesn't get diminished. So I mean, if there was some kind of a panel in the middle at that time when Sachin was in Zimbabwe, he probably wouldn't have had that difficulty seeing it through. But yeah, it's a brilliant, optimized, excellent indoor-outdoor conditions display that we have.
Fantastic. So it's ideal for all kind of lighting conditions.
Absolutely.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, interesting part. Sachin, you talk about test cricket being the real test as far as cricket's concerned. But, the other formats have caught up as well. The one-dayers, the T20s, and, right now it's all T20. IPL's on, things are on. Touch wood, Mumbai Indians doing well. So you're happy about that as well. But very quickly, you're talking about setting targets, charging towards a particular thing, charging towards a result, minimizing risk as well at that point of time. So, when we talk about the phone lingo, we're talking about quick charge, without overheating. How do you relate that to cricket from a cricketing perspective, charging towards a target and making sure you minimize the risk to it?
In T20, you don't have time. You have to keep up with the pace of the game. And as I said earlier, that it's not to do with technique. Sometimes you can play pre-planned shots. Even before the bowler has started his run-up, you've planned your shot because you've kind of read his mind and looked at the field setting and you've planned your shot. Test cricket, there have been occasions where we've started playing a test match backwards. Now, many people would find that funny because, what is it like start playing backwards? On day one, you actually think that if I bat in a particular way, there were a number of occasions when the batter gets criticized for not playing his natural game. Every day you can't go out and hit the same way. Sometimes you have to think, what would it be like for the opposition to chase 220 runs on the last day? And then you start working backwards, thinking of how the wear and tear of the surface would take place. And those kind of things really matter. But in today's world, we are used to moving rather quickly. Everyone wants, the newer generation wants everything right now. But from my experience, I feel that you can either have it right or you can have it now. You can't have both. God knows how you guys have managed right now to do it, but I know that to be able to give something instantly, and that is what I look at my phone. I feel I want quick results, and there is no time in today's world. You want to move on and you want to do things at a different pace, and charging your phone is no different. I think you need things to be done quickly and right now.
How have you managed that?
Well, see, I think it's important to have a very quick charge nowadays. So we are providing a quick charge 2.0 in the device. We call it actually the coolest quick charge. We have probably the best thermal management in its device category. Now, a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, are using quick charge on their devices here. But a lot of times while you're doing that, your phones heat up tremendously. I have heard stories about how high the temperatures can get. This device, we promise you that if you are doing a quick charge, you can pick up the phone and still make a phone call. And it's not as if you're picking the phone and it's unbearably hot either in the hand or to the touch of the skin. This is the coolest quick charge that we have developed.
Well, picking up the phone right after charging and making a call isn't the only worry. The worry is what you do if you put it on your pocket. So you got to take care of it. Very quick scenario. Sachin, we talk about communication. Telephones, that's what it's all about. Cricket, it's all about communicating with your partner, communicating with the one you're batting with. Have you had any challenges where, people have not been able to communicate with you, or opposition teams have gone on and said something?
Yeah, there were a few occasions where I had challenge in the team itself communicating, because I remember in 96, 97 when we went to South Africa, Doda Ganesh was one of those players who found little difficult to speak Hindi as well as understand English. So anything I would tell him, I was captain at that time, anything I would tell him, he would say, yes, sir. Anything. So his reply used to be, yes, sir, thank you, sir. So I said, stop calling me, sir. He would still say, okay, sir. So I was batting with him in Cape Town, and Alan Donald was bowling. Alan Donald runs in and he bowls 2-3 quick deliveries. And he says something to him, in between the deliveries. And then once the over was done, we were all standing. I was standing with Doda Ganesh and Donald was right next to him. And he was saying something to him. So I told Alan Donald, are you trying to tell him something? I said, because I find difficult communicating with him. If you want to tell him something, tell me, I will make an effort. I can't promise you. So the moment he heard that, he just walked back. And I said, Doda, you don't worry, just continue batting. And his reply was, yes, sir. No worries, sir.
That's communication for you. How does the phone address this?
Well, we are so because we have such an incredible chipset in place, and that gives a lot of experiences that we can put in the device. So we have a dual SIM, dual LTE device, and the VoLTE is actually really next gen for all next gen networks as well. But interestingly, we did a lot of road tests across a bunch of cities, compared our device performance on data throughputs, on call drop rates, across a variety of devices. And we came up trumps on all cities, all conditions, all devices by easily about 25-30% all the time that we have done it. So anyone using our devices is going to significantly start understanding that call drops are not always about the networks. It's not about Airtels and the RGOs of the world. It's a lot about the tremendous engineering effort that you put in, the kind of components that you use. And that's why some of the top-of-the-line components that we have used should really help people communicate really well.
So you'll be getting a thank you note from the mobile operators as well.
I do wish so,
I'm
absolutely.
sure of that. All right, this is interesting. Now, another thing is about adaptation, about being up to date, being latest. I'm sure it's very important in your world. I'm sure it was very important, Sachin. We've seen so many upgradations in the game. It's like a battle for survival for bowlers who are trying to figure out new things. You as a batter, at one point in time, I think you used one of the heaviest bats that people were using in international cricket. About adapting your game, about adapting to different conditions, being up to date. Just talk us through that.
Yeah, you have to learn to do that, because in any profession at the highest level, it's all about being able to adjust, being able to analyze what your competitors are doing, and then try and be ahead of them, and then you plan differently, you think differently, and then above all, you're able to execute those plans. For us, it's no different. I mean, there are times when I still remember in Adelaide, I went out to bat, and this was in the first test match. On second day in the evening, I went out to bat, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I played about 4 or 5 maiden overs of Glenn McGrath. And as I said earlier, that there were few guys on air saying that I'm not playing my natural game. But I had picked their strategy, and I knew that they were playing around with my patience. And I said, okay, if you are going to play with my patience, I'm going to play with your patience. Let's see who wins. And I did that, and because that was towards the end of the day, I didn't want to take any risk. But the same deliveries the next morning, first over, I hit boundaries. In the first over itself, I hit 2 or 3 boundaries. And post-match, I met Shane Warne, and he said, you know what, after that evening on second, we called for a bowlers meeting, because our plan was to bowl almost 80% of the deliveries outside off stump. They should go straight to Gilchrist, and you should not play. But you have made us think otherwise, because you kept leaving the ball, and we said, if you come and do the same thing the next day, we can't keep bowling to you like that the whole day. So that made us rethink our strategy. So I feel it is all about your gut feel, and also reading what is going on in the opposition's mind, and then eventually being able to execute your plan and be a step further.
Be up to date. Make sure you outthink what the others are thinking. How does this phone fare as far as the latest is concerned?
As we have talked through today, I've focused a lot on the kind of hardware, the kind of components that we have used in the device, the kind of experiences that those hardware specifications are driving. I think a tremendous amount of engineering and effort has gone into making sure that we have an absolutely amazing software in place. If you see some of these results out here, this is a comparison of your user available memory on a 64 gig phone versus a couple of devices, right? The optimization of the software in our case is so high that it's almost like giving user an additional 5 gigs free. So let's say in case of a competition, if the OS in a 64 gig is about 10, 11 gigs, in our case, the same operating system is about 6 gigs. So you get that 5 more gigs of memory availability. But more important than that, what we are also focusing on is the Android that we have is almost near native Android. So you don't get skins, you don't get too much of you don't get any bloatware out there. It is a very, very native interface on software. And what we're also doing is, we don't want consumers to buy our device and then realize over a period of time that it's degrading. We want to keep on adapting, to Sachin's point, and make sure that it becomes better. So you will get security updates coming from us every quarter. So as soon as security updates are needed, we'll push them out. And we're promising consumers that we'll do at least 2 to 3 major Android upgrades. Now, that has been such a huge pain point in India that OEMs don't really upgrade their devices to the next generations of the Android. So we are promising at least, as I said, 2 to 3. But we're making a bigger promise on the Android upgrades. We're promising that we'll be the fastest OEM to do those Android upgrades out of the box.
So another reason to go with the Indian. Not bad.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Sachin, everyone here has admired your career. They've looked up to you. A lot of people have been inspired by you. Now we've reached a stage where it's not only people, players, but phones that are inspired by you as well. Technology has gone that route. What's the secret of that longevity, the durability of having lasted the rigors of international cricket over so many years?
I think above all, it is the passion. If you're not passionate about, I hate calling profession, it's your passion. So you have to be passionate. And I always tell cricketers कि cricket अगर दिल से नहीं शुरू हुआ है और दिमाग से शुरू हुआ है तो you try and do something else. Cricket की शुरुआत दिल से होनी चाहिए. And that is what happened with me. So, it was all about कि कहाँ जाके मैच खेल सकता हूँ. Right from my childhood, be it tennis ball or then at Shivaji Park and Azad Maidan, Cross Maidan, all these grounds where my career took shape. It was all about cricket and nothing else. The rest of the things happened in the background. So there was always a mantra at home. We think about cricket and the rest of the things will follow. And similarly, if I did well or if I didn't, whatever, it really didn't matter because it was about we think about the next game and then the rest of the world talk about the last game. So it was all about moving forward and understanding where I need to be and what I wanted to achieve. To me, I've just followed that mantra, and I think for any individual to succeed, you got to have a solid team. And my solid team, though they've chosen to always be in the background, it's my family. It's my family, my coach, my friends. I think they've always chosen to be in the background, but without their support, I wouldn't have been here. I was alone going out there, scoring all those runs, and people appreciate it. But I feel this is one platform where I'd like to thank all those people who've contributed in making me what I am today, because without their sacrifices and their commitment, I don't think I would have been sitting here. So it's not just me alone, it's the teamwork.
Very aptly said, teamwork, and the fact that you owe a lot of your success to them. What about the phone in terms of durability? I think that's one big question every user has in his mind.
It's one of those things that if you have a device that's an ode to Sachin, you have to keep in mind. And considering that we are designed, engineered, manufactured in India, one thing that we know is how to make a device which takes the rough and tumble of Indian life into consideration. So we have the best drop test rates in the category in industry, which means that if you were to compare srtphone against, let's say, competition in its category, if competition lasts 100 cycles of fall, ours will last at least 130, 140 cycles of fall. So we've created a device which is absolutely, as I said, designed, manufactured right from ID to everything else, and therefore it has given us a lot of control in building a really sturdy device. 30% better than anyone else.
Sorry, 30% better than anyone else?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's Butterfingers proof.
It's definitely Butterfingers proof.
All right, fantastic. I can carry on this conversation and ask Sachin questions about his life. I'm sure a lot of you also want to know. मेरा तो हमेशा ये दिल मांगे मोर कहता है कि as much conversation as is possible. But शायद पूरी शाम निकल जाएगी. तो Dil to mange more, phone ke liye bhi dil mange more. Amit, is there something that you'd like to add in terms of features?
Sure, yeah. I mean, so we have a lot of other stuff in as a part of the devices as well. So the device comes with an NFC. It is one of the blazing fastest fingerprint sensor in the world in its category. You can unlock this phone in like sub 0.1 seconds. It's actually 0.09 seconds to be precise. What we also have is a 13 megapixel rear camera. It's been optimized. It's autofocus PDAF. We have a 5 megapixel selfie camera, again optimized for low light performance. With that, what we're also doing is we're giving, so our IoT platform is the Tronix platform, and that gives you access to a lot of experiences across the device ecosystem. Now, Tronix essentially today is experiences across device ecosystem. It is what we call T-Care, which is your remote diagnostics on a device. We have a T-Store wherein you can go and buy a lot of stuff. And so there is a bunch of experiences that we are driving through Tronix. And what Tronix also does is that it's kind of backward compatible from an IoT platform perspective. So tomorrow, anything that you plug onto our Tronix networks basically starts working. So yeah, there is a bunch of interesting experiences that we are driving as a part of this. I very quickly wanted to kind of talk also about how I know everyone who talks about their devices generally talks about in very flowery languages, but we have done a bunch of benchmark tests against a variety of devices. On gaming, this is the kind of results that you will get against a couple of different benchmark scores. If you were to see browser performance, again, something which we have brilliant results on, which shown you overall performance results as well. So in that sense, really putting up a great performance device. Now, one thing that generally a lot of people don't like to talk about is how good a device is from a radiation and SAR perspective. If you compare this device on radiation, and which I think everyone does need to talk about, compare it to other devices in its category, we are at 0.6 compared to everyone else, which is probably higher than 1, 1.4, 1.5 right now. So it's not only the amazing components, hardware, design, build quality that we have put, or tremendous amount of software innovation, or optimizations that we have done, or latest Android that we're going to do. I think we are trying to put together a device that can truly be called the performance masterclass in its price category, and therefore something which we believe is truly a note to Sachin here.
The most important number is what everybody wants to know, Amit. When you come down to this phone, what numbers are we looking at? You got legendary numbers here. You know, legendary numbers in terms of career. What's the number with the phone?
Let me add one thing. So we have special edition, back doors, back covers as we call them. So you can actually customize your devices with these couple of back covers as well. We are launching this product exclusively on Flipkart, and it will be available starting today, immediately after we are through with this conversation. And as a part of launch offers in the initial days, we have a 1,500 rupees extra if you exchange your old device. You can actually buy it on an equated monthly installment EMIs for as low as 1167. It's a no-cost EMI. We are also, in the launch offer period, shipping to our customers the signature Sachin back covers for free. And we are giving an extended, so generally the warranties are about 1 year. We're giving a 2-year warranty during this launch offer period.
Oh, that's a huge number. So generally what you say for a phone is, a phone with all of this is about 20K plus. So what's the final price on the phone that we've got?
So we are starting this device. We have two versions. We have a 32 gig version and a 64 gig version. The 32 gig version is at 12,999, and the 64 gig version is at 13,999.
Wow, those are amazing numbers, Amit. Thank you so much. And I'm sure very quickly everybody would like to see the product AV very quickly as well.
Absolutely. Can we get the AV, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick look at this. Hang on for a minute. We'll come back to you, gentlemen. Let's first take a quick look at what this product's going to look like very quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the SRT phone from Smartron. Time to see what the product's really going to look like, ladies and gentlemen. Requesting Sachin and Mr. Mahesh to kindly do the honors. Ladies and gentlemen. That's what the phone's going to be looking like. Back cover. And look at that. The man's got the phone himself. That's the SRT phone, ladies and gentlemen, from Smartron. And may I request the Smartron team to also come up on stage for a quick photo opportunity. We've got Narsi coming up, Amit joining in as well with Rohit. Ladies and gentlemen. They say, pan right. Mastery at its core, ladies and gentlemen, making every shot count. That's the SRT phone for you. At this point in time, I'd also like to invite Mr. Larry Paulson up on stage, please. Requesting Mr. Larry Paulson to come up. He's the Vice President Qualcomm and President of Qualcomm India. Sir, good to have you here with us. Request you to join in, please, for a quick photo opportunity. I'd also like to request Mr. Ayappan to come up on stage, please. Mr. Ayappan from Flipkart, may we have you come up on stage, please. Here he is, the man for the moment. Quick photo op. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and now time for me to call upon some very special people. They took part in the My Wish to Meet Sachin contest on the social media. We had loads of wishes come in for SRT's birthday, which was a few days ago, 9 days to be precise. And we've got winners of that contest here. We got almost 100,000 wishes come in on social media for SRT through this contest. And I'd like to announce the winners. You've got Anusha Ramachandran, Ayush Agarwal, Dinesh Jangir, Priyanka Bali and Nitin Jain. They are the lucky winners, and they can come up on stage and get a quick meet and greet opportunity with the legend himself, Mr. Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. And you can face the media, ladies and gentlemen. This is your proud moment with the little master himself. And many congratulations on being the proud recipient of the SRT phone as well. Many congratulations to our contest winners. It's amazing the kind of love, adoration, and support that the master himself has received from so many. Thank you very much. May I request the lucky fans to kindly now move off stage, please. Many congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sachin.
And it's time for us to thank you very much. Many congratulations to the fans and the winners. And at this point of time, a quick solo photograph for Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to the Little Master, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, for the launch of the SRT phone, we had the Little Master Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar here with us himself. Thank you so much. And now the floor is open to our friends from the media for any question and answers vis-a-vis the phone. We'll have that. And of course, we'll also have Larry say a few words to us, please.
So just wanted to introduce Larry Paulson, who is the president of Qualcomm India. As some of you may know, Smartron and Qualcomm has entered into strategic collaboration and licensing agreement a couple of weeks ago, where we have licensed Qualcomm's 3G, 4G patents, which sort of goes straight into our device design and development, which helps us to do a better design of our products. So just wanted to introduce Larry, if you want to say a few words.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to congratulate the Smartron team and, you know, defining and building a a good smartphone is not easy. It consists of lots of decisions, and I think the thinking and planning that went into this is quite clear on the output. And again, congratulations to you and your team on what I know is going to be a very successful product. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is open for question and answers regarding the SRT phone, please.
Good afternoon. This question is addressed to Mr. Mahesh and Mr. Bomi. I think you've done a wonderful job. And with the Prime Minister himself talking about made in India and everything, the designing. Our only concern is, how do you propose to take the service, issue? Because most of the phone makers, the mobile makers, today when you buy a smartphone, either you get a built-in application, and I picked up a Lenovo last year. When this broke, so these application providers are away. They are the fly-by-night stuff, So, sir.
So it's a very good question. So this is one of the things right on in our device. I think like Amit said, we have a T-Care, which is a one click away in the device. Unlike other brands who might come and go, we are India-based company. We are right here. We are not going anywhere. So we are available. We own the T-Care. So we directly provide customer support. So we manage the customer support directly. We are not offloading it to somebody else. We're not sitting in some other country. So we're right here. It's one of the key differentiations. It's a very good question. I think it's part of the whole customer experience, post-sale customer experience. We are just one click away. And then we have an open forum. So you can forum.smartron.com. We are accessible there. If there are any issues, we are dealing with those issues directly.
Thank you.
Just
And
to
we
add
have
to that,
2-year warranty also.
We have our partners, the service partners, which are across the country as well. But as Mahesh mentioned, we do consider service as a differentiation, at least at Smartron, right? I know a lot of people believe that once you've bought the device, the relationship is over. For us, we believe that once you buy the device, the relationship really starts, right? So you'll see us really focusing on that side of the business in any case.
So what sort of volumes are you looking for in the first year? What sort of?
I think as long as, we've built a brilliant product, there is, really no cap to what we can do. But yeah, as long as we keep on focus on the product, I think volumes and everything else will take care of itself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Raman, we're good?
I believe we don't have any further Q&As. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. It's been a pleasure to have hosted you here, and many congratulations to the team from Smartron for the launch of the SRT phone.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. Again, we apologize for the late delay start, but appreciate you hanging in there. Thank you so much.